Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the extra time segment for Everton nil, Man City 3. Everton gave a valiant performance to start off with, and then it all was all undone in the matter of 2 minutes. And Man City's Man City, so it was always going to be an uphill task after that, and a torturous second half, and so it proved. I'm joined by Steve Hornby. We're going to be looking back on a game that we just want to forget as quickly as possible. Let's be honest. I think once we get this out, get this sort of rundown out of the way, I think we'll be moving on very quickly to the Wolves game, won't we?
Yeah, I think. Look, we all believed it, didn't we, on the run up closer across the game that we might be able to get something. Um, I think it was just genuinely, James, like a case of just getting undone by quality in them moments. Like the Gundogan one, it's just it's just I don't want to say a freak moment, but um, you don't see that too many times in football. The way he took it down on his knee and controlled it so well and put it in the net. Haaland's an absolute beast, isn't he? So for him to rise up there, to be honest, I think, best striker in Europe by a country mile, I think. So for him to get that second, that really done it for us, didn't it? It would have just been nice to keep it a little bit more tight after Gundogan's first, and
I
then
think we
nearly in
should
the
have done.
second.
That's the real disappointment for me. I think we should have
Yeah,
kept it at 1-0 till half time, and I think we fell apart a little bit. I mean, we regrouped after that a little bit, but
yeah, and
damage
then
was done.
obviously Gundogan getting that free kick. He's just a quality player, and you've got it. It shows City's shows their strength and depth when obviously Kevin De Bruyne wasn't fit to play, and they brought him in. He's on a different level to any of the players we have. So no, but on the whole, like you said, it was a valiant performance. The opening sort of half an hour was brilliant from us. A couple of standouts again. I thought Nathan Patterson was brilliant. I thought Dwight
Mm.
McNeil was amazing again. Calvert-Lewin seemed like he carried that confidence in. Obviously, he went off, but I think it was a tight groin. So we just hope that that's not too bad because we got two absolutely huge games in the what will decide where the club is next season. So I'm not too down looking back on it. It's not like the Fulham game or the Newcastle game where after it you just sat there going, I don't know what's going to happen now. You could see a game plan. You could see Sean Dyche's team. We just unlucky we come up against the best team in Europe on Sunday. So yeah, we'll regroup and we'll go again into Wolves.
Yeah, certainly. I think that's it now. I think it's the case of moving on from this game. The only real concern was that tight said something about Calvert Lewin feeling a tightness in his hamstring, and that's what has got all the fans worried, I think, now, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think I when he brought him off, I thought, okay, hopefully there's not enough with him. He didn't look to be struggling, and I seen just after the second City goal, he got called over and he ran over to Sean Dyche on the touchline. Um, he ran over. He didn't look like there was anything particularly wrong with him. He wasn't limping. It wasn't a laboured sort of jog. He sprinted over to him. So at half time, I was thinking, right, either it's a tiny little knock he's got, or he's thought, okay, we're not going to get anything from this game. We don't have the luxury of keeping him on and trying to get back into it. We need him now for Wolves and Bournemouth. So I think had it been maybe a situation where we were already safe or something like that, I think he probably would have kept him on for another 20 minutes and saw how he went. But I think it was the right decision to take him off. It's just
Mm.
unfortunate we've got absolutely nothing to replace him with. I really thought Ellis Sims could have come on and played that Calvert Lewin role with
He'd
with
have done
some
better
of
than Mopey, wouldn't he?
with at least some of the same quality as what Calvert Lewin does. He's a big lad, and yeah, it's frustrating when you come on and when Mopey comes on, and I don't want to I don't want to slate any footballer who plays for our club, but watching him on Sunday, I just looked at him and I just thought either you're really low on confidence or you've won a competition to get on this pitch today because I didn't see him sprint once. I didn't see him close down very well at all. There was no quality when he was on the ball. And the second Calvert Lewin comes off our midfield, turns from what we saw last week, prime Barcelona, against Brighton to what looks like Sunday League at best because there's not enough front for him to pass to, and I think that speaks volumes of how much a big striker can impact your season. And you know we saw it last weekend, and I was just looking at it thinking if Calvert-Lewin's in that team from the very beginning, you're looking at games like Southampton, Wolves, Leeds away, games like that where we're going. I don't know if he was in there early in the season for Leeds away, but you're looking at it going,
He
okay,
wasn't.
we wouldn't. He wasn't. You're looking at it, you're going, oh, we will be able to get so many more points. We'd have turned draws into wins. We'd have turned losses into draws purely because we saw it last week with that opening goal from Decore. Just the freedom he allows our midfield to get forwards and an out ball. And unfortunately, I think the damage was done when Haaland's goal went in, and obviously Calvert-Lewin had to come off. But that first opening half an hour against any other team, I think we would have been, 2-3-0 up because we've created some chances. They're just a very, very tough team to play against when they're on their day, and obviously they are on their day.
They're on the
There's a
day for
reason
about
why
3 months now.
there's a reason why they're playing Real Madrid on Wednesday in the semi-final of the Champions League, and there's a reason why there's no chance that um, if they do go on to win it, then they can't win the final and get the treble. So fair play to Manchester City. They've built this now for a while. Pep Guardiola's got his team, hasn't he? They've got players who can come on in quality areas for other quality players when they're not fit. So yeah, we come up against the wrong opponents on the day. But we certainly in that first half an hour did look like a team that we didn't look like the worst team in the league. We didn't look like one of the three worst teams in the league in that opening half an hour. And I think even when it went to 3-0, we all went, okay, just looking at goal difference now, keep it tight. And after the third went in, I think City did stop playing a little bit, but we did a bit better. We did better when Connor Cody came on as well. So there's promising things from Sunday. There's promising things from the Manchester City game. We just need to take it into Wolves now. And have a repeat of the Brighton game. I'd definitely take that.
Absolutely. Well, even half as good as that would take, I think.
And
But yeah, I think the thing with Calvert Lewin is, I think I have a funny feeling that I don't know if there was anything wrong with him. To be honest, I feel like Dyche just said that to try and cover the fact that he's effectively. It's just a much easier thing to say to the press than effectively. Yeah, we realised we weren't getting nothing out of it, and we effectively forfeited the game.
you know what? For our sake, James, I hope that was the case.
Yeah,
I hope
I
he's lying to
think
us. I
so.
hope he's gone. I wouldn't blame him for going. This game's dead in the water. Let's take him off. Save
I
him for
agreed.
Wolves.
I said that as soon as the second goal went in, without before he got took off. I was like, just protect him and protect the team. No injuries. Don't leak goals.
I mean, we
Keep
were
this as tight
already,
as possible.
yeah, we were already playing Mason Holgate a left back. There's no reason why we should be keeping our players on the pitch when you're 2-0 down at home to the best side in the world, and your number nine's injured. Just take him off because and it's funny, isn't it? This shouldn't be Everton Football Club. This shouldn't be the way that we're talking about things, should it? We shouldn't be, this negative atmosphere and this negative outlook of trying to
Let's
get
let's
by two
avoid the
men.
worst, basically.
Yeah, but when you're in a situation like this, and we all know how it's led to this, um, if, if it's a sad position to be in, but I think, to be honest, Sean Dyche there has had to make a really tough decision, hasn't he? And he's had to probably take him off when he when in another game he probably wouldn't want to. So, but looking at the positives, midfield was great again. Garner was really good. James Garner, Abdoulaye Doucouré, good again. Seems to have just had a complete new lease of life um, under Sean Dyche. So you've got to remember who you're playing against, and there's enough signs there for me to think that we're going to get at least 3 points, 3, 4 points from the Wolves and the Bournemouth game. And I think if we need 3 points on the last day against Bournemouth, we'll get them because we've seen what this fan base can do when the pressure's on. So I think there's enough signs there for me to be not too pessimistic going into the last two.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not feeling too downhearted about this. I'm just happy we didn't let it go to 4 and we didn't drop a low lead on goal difference. That's what worried me.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned with that, but you know, I thought for the last sort of half an hour, 20 minutes, I thought we kept it really tight. We had chances. We were getting the ball up. We were looking down the wings. We had chances to score on the edge of our box, but we just didn't have that clinical finishing in the team. And we brought Neil Mopai on, and the lad's afraid to shoot, isn't he? He's afraid to score goals. So
Afraid to do
uh,
anything really.
it just comes down to recruitment again, James. It comes down to the running of the club. It comes down to Kenwright, Mashiri, Thelwell, Lampard, all those who bringing in these players who just square pegs in round holes, isn't it? And having bringing a new manager in and having 8 players from Ancelotti, 1 player from Martinez, 1 player from Koeman or whatever, and just having a mix and match of players and not being able to have any stability. This is what's led us to this point. So, um, I think looking at it on looking at it from Sunday, I think as soon as those 2 goals went in just before half time, we did as well as we could have. Obviously, going into the game, the best we could have done was win it. And I think half an hour in, I was thinking, all right, we've got a chance here. We can either snatch a goal and win this, or we can at least hold out for a draw. But you get undone by little bits of quality, and that's the difference. When you've got the team that are top of the league playing the team that are 17th, there's gonna be jumps in quality and positions there. The way that Haaland's got away from Mason Holgate there, it's unbeatable, and Jordan Pickford couldn't really do anything about them. So yeah, let's just look at the positives. Look how well we played against Brighton. Look how well some of the team playing together. Um, it doesn't feel as bad as it was Newcastle and Fulham. It's definitely life in there. So yeah, just keep at it. And yeah, I know if it comes to that last day, I know we'll get something there. So let's just see how we get on.
I'm not brimming with confidence. I'm taking every game as it comes because you just never know what Everton will turn up. Who
Yeah,
knows when we might get spanked on the final day. Hopefully that will be the case after we've already sealed safety, but you never know. I'm I'm just taking each game as it comes, and hopefully we go to
yeah.
Wolves and put in a decent away display like we did the last time, and that's what we can
So,
all we can hope for at the moment is that regardless of what other teams do, is that we've got to take the initiative ourselves and do our bit.
I mean, we've got it. It's funny, isn't it? The fan base. I think of there's an attitude within the fan base where we've lost, and now all of a sudden Leeds and Leicester and Wolves and Bournemouth, they're the greatest teams in the world and they're unbeatable and we're not going to get them. There was enough signs there on Sunday, James, to show that we were able to get something there at Molineux next week, and that we're able to beat Bournemouth. Bournemouth have secured safety. Wolves obviously been safe for a while. It's just going to be a case of us putting that work in on the final day, and I think Sean Dyche's just capable of that. Obviously, we do need some results to go our way. We need Leicester to get beat. We need Leeds to get beat next week. And best case scenario is this time next week we're just waiting on Leeds to get beaten. Hopefully, we'll have done the job then, and we'll be able to go into the last day a bit calmer and just be able to enjoy it. But no, I think there's definitely enough players with enough quality in there to come in and do a job for us. Certainly in the midfield. Onana's missed the last couple of games, and against Brighton, he come on, he made that great assist for McNeil. Um, promising player. Really wears his heart on his sleeve. So I think Onana coming in, possibly against Wolves if he wants to change anything, but I don't think he will. I think I'm just hoping there's nothing too wrong with Calvert Lewin, because if Calvert Lewin plays on against Wolves, I'm really confident we can get something. If he doesn't, that's when we start to panic, I think.
Certainly, yeah. We'll worry about that next weekend anyway. We'll leave it at this for this one. It's one of them, like I said, just quickly move on from this. It was never going to define the season. This one, it's the next
Oh
two
no.
that do. We'll leave it at that. Everton nil, Manchester City 3. Let us know your opinions, guys. Get your comments coming in. Give this video a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.